Welcome into the Fan Speak Network. I am your host, Justin Bruni. Joining me, as always, is my co-host and partner, Mr. Andrew, the TD King, Raub. Happy Friday, sir. We made it another week through. On to week 6. How we feeling?
Yes, sir. Feeling pretty good. Bets were good last week. Best ball is going pretty well, and man, it's just yeah, okay, but good so far. And and it's crazy that we're already in week 6. I mean, we have this week and then next week, and then we're already halfway through the best ball regular season. It is just nuts how quickly it goes, but damn, do I love Sundays.
It is a splendid day. I mean, Saturdays are nice too. You can get some college games in, but now you got NHL back. NBA is going to be back soon. A whole plethora of options for sports betting. We're coming to you every Friday night with our NFL winners. That's all that we've been doing through the first 5 weeks. We're moving on to week 6, like we said. Tyler in the chat, appreciate you, sir. Feeling good, man. I mean, I got a lot of picks that I'm liking here. I got some iffy ones I'm a little more timid about, but I'm gonna share them. I'm gonna give them out, at least in terms of like player props. I like the board this week as well. I'm liking some of the spreads. We can just dive right into to player props. You wanna lead the way here?
Yes, sir. Of course. I'm starting off with a guy who hasn't been very good recently, but coach just came out and said, we understand that we need to get this guy the ball more, and that is Calvin Ridley. I'm taking the over yardage of 46.5. I think they're going to just make it make it a purpose to get him the ball. Should see a decent amount of targets this week against, a Colts secondary that not very good, right? They suck. So the number feels good for coach speak. Index here would probably agree that the coach has come out and said, hey, we're going to get this guy the ball. I'm going to lean into that a little bit here with the over 46.5.
I like that. For my first pick, I'm staying in that game as well. I'm going Tony Pollard over his receiving yard total of 17.5 yards, paying -113. He's hit this in 2 out of 4 games, and it's a juicy matchup up against the Colts, who allow the 6th most receptions to running backs on the season. And on average, they're allowing 9 yards per reception to running backs, meaning that Pollard really only has to get 2 or 3 catches. I believe they have his reception line at 2.5 catches as well. I think that's also a friendly number, but I'm more inclined to take the receiving yards up against the Swiss cheese defense of the Indianapolis Colts. Whether linebackers, that upfront group, the secondary, like you had mentioned, they've been a good team to target for player props, anytime touchdowns, etc.
Yeah, Mike Robb says, I don't like Sundays because of football, but my late night antics, which, hey, coming up Monday, I'm a banker. I get off Monday.
He's get off. He has those every night. He's always up to something.
Yeah, but since I don't work Monday, Sunday night antics will be ramped up this Sunday.
What's Monday?
Indigenous People Day, a.k.a. Columbus Day.
Oh, is it? I don't have off for that.
Sorry, buddy. I'm a banker. I got bankers hours, bankers holidays.
Damn, that's tough. I don't think that's fair. But enjoy that.
I will. Thank you, Indigenous people. My next prop up is, and I'm not betting on the team because I am superstitious, and they're rolling hot. But
you can use the Austin Eckler. Go ahead.
No, I'm not using Austin Eckler, though. I do think that's a good pick this week. I'm not going to take your thunder. It is a good pick every week. And Eric in the chat here saying, being able to watch second half of Sunday Night Football is a rare treat for first shift dads.
That's true.
That's true. Eric, a.k.a. Degen Eric, joined us last week, gave out some nice winners. So he's riding hot. And I'm hoping that my quarterback, Jaden Daniels, can continue to ride hot. This game should be high scoring. I am going to take for the first time this year. So I'm sure he won't hit it this year or this week, but Jaden Daniels over 48.5 rushing yards. I think him and Lamar are going to run the ball a ton. It's the battle of the running quarterbacks. People keep asking Jaden Daniels, are you Lamar Jackson? And he made the point of saying, like, I wish people would stop saying that. Like, I'm my own person, which I respect. But I also think that's going to piss off Lamar Jackson. Like, hey, you should have said, like, hey, you know what? Lamar's awesome. Like, I would love to be him, but I am my own man. I think the way he said it kind of pisses him off, and I don't like that for the game itself. So I kind of lean the Ravens a little bit here, but I'm going to take Jaden Daniels over 48.5. And we shall see what happens. Oh, Bruni getting his food delivered to him. You could tell, looking off screen, looking like somebody reading.
I was looking at Jaden Daniels over 1.5 passing touchdown props.
Oh, all right.
Are we getting any juice for that? Are we getting plus money? I mean, I like the rushing approach too, but the Ravens defense has been terrible up against the pass. I think if there's a week to go after the 2 passing touchdowns, I think this might be the week for Jaden Daniels. It's one of those iffy type of picks. You know, I don't think the numbers support it. I don't know if he's had a game where he's passed for multiple touchdowns. If he does, it's probably just one. So if you get some plus odds for it, I don't hate it. Again, the passing opportunities have been bountiful up against the Ravens secondary. They're allowing top 3 for yards for quarterbacks and receivers. It could be interesting.
Nice. I like that you're on my Manders.
Yeah. Sneaky dogs this week.
Next one up for me, sticking with the passing touchdowns, I'm going to take CJ Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns. This is a game that they have to have. If they lose this game, people are going to absolutely shit on them. No Nico, but still has Tank Dell and Steph Diggs. I think this is the week we see Tank Dell have a nice little bust out week here for himself. No Nico. Last time Nico was off the field and Tank Dell was in, I think he had like 14 targets, like 5 for 65 and a touchdown. So he had himself a nice little game. I do expect that to repeat history, and I will stick with Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
I like that. I'll also stay in that game. I like Dalton Schultz over 3.5 receptions. You're getting plus money there when he should have an increased role. Someone that you didn't mention, Joe Mixon, looks like he is going to be back this week. I still like targeting Dell and Dalton Schultz for their value because obviously Diggs is going to have a higher yardage cost, less juice, and I like going after some of the cheaper options that have just as much of a likelihood of having an increased role, more targets, catches, etc.
Yeah, fine with me. I mean, again,
plus money, like I said, plus 108 for Schultz to hit plus 3.5 receptions. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, no Nico. That just opens up the door for a lot of these other guys. So I'm completely on board with that. Hopefully one of them goes to Schultz. That'd be nice. Maybe put him in anytime touchdown parlay. But I think he's getting, he has seen some red zone targets. So keep that in your pocket if you're doing an anytime touchdown. My next prop though, staying with the over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Let's go to the Lions and Cowboys game and Dak Prescott over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Yep. I don't see them having a ton of success. I know people are on Rico Dowdle this week. I'm not really. I do think that they are going to pass the ball around a ton. Ferguson, Tolbert, Lamb, you name it. Dak over 1.5 pass touchdowns.
No, we're in sync. So 100% agree with that pick. Jalen Tolbert, here you go. Plus 103, over 42.5 receiving yards and over 3.5 receptions. Coming off a week where he had 10 targets, he had the game-winning touchdown. Now you play the Lions at home indoors against a Lions defense that has allowed the 4th most receptions to wide receivers through just 4 games. They're ranked 4th in the league, and they've only played 4 games. That's a ridiculous stat. Allowing the 7th most receiving yards to receivers, also really high, in my opinion. I mean, it's not top 5, but it's top 10, and you've only played 4 games while the rest of the league has played 5. That's a bit ridiculous. So we should definitely be targeting Dak. Tolbert, if you want to really buy in, I think that the 86 receiving yards for CeeDee Lamb, friendly. I mean, like in this game with the implied total, the offense that should be going around based on the total, I think it's safe to take CeeDee Lamb, but I like the value that I get with Tolbert. No dissimilar to Dalton Schultz getting the uptick from the Nico Collins injury. We saw it last week already. Tolbert getting that uptick from Brandon Cooks being out. I love this spot for him. And really low numbers, coming off that week 5 game, that week 5 performance. That's really friendly in my opinion.
He says both of you having positive Cowboy takes. Did hell freeze over tonight? Yeah, hey man, you know what? I like money. I hate the Cowboys. Always fuck the Cowboys, but I do like money, and I do think
they play the Eagles and the Giants a lot, don't they?
Yes, they do.
I think I might get a Dak jersey.
Oh God. Okay, well you heard it here first. Bruni is getting one. I most certainly not, unless it's to burn. Jamie also checking in with us. What's up, dads?
Reek was in here saying earlier, likely TD incoming. I don't know if that's for a specific person or the player, Isaiah likely, but I will say, I've asked some, people around the streets here of Baltimore, say, hey, you're wearing a Ravens jersey. Who's scoring a touchdown this week? You know who they're all saying?
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews. They all want Mark Andrews. The fans want Mark Andrews. I don't know the odds, but if you're getting the juice, we say it he's a live option every week. Like I didn't just
plus
die.
330. It's like plus 300 something.
In any time?
Yeah, hold on. Let me confirm that, but I'm pretty sure earlier when I was looking at that game,
just a little sprinkle is all. I mean, I think that's fair enough.
Plus 370.
Pretty good. The fans want Andrews to find paydirt. That's all I'm saying. So
let's stick in the Cowboys and Lions game. I am taking Jake Ferguson over 48.5 receiving yards.
Oh, they're all doing it.
Yeah, I mean, they're all well, right? I think he's slated in at like 5.5 receptions. If he gets that,
it's a bit high still.
Yeah, if he gets that, I like the 48.5. Again, they're gonna probably be passing the ball a bunch. I think Dak's probably in line for 40 plus passes in this game. They don't really have a ton of options. They have their three main guys, and that's who they're probably going to go to. And Ferguson should reap some benefits of CD taking away the coverage, especially over the middle. So I will take Ferguson over 48.5 receiving yards.
Coverage. Did you hear the stats I gave you on that secondary? Dead bodies in that secondary. It's atrocious. My next prop is going back to the well with receiving yards for a running back. DeAndre Swift been doing it over 20.5 receiving yards against the Jaguars in Jaleo, London. Hit this number in 4 straight games, and the Jags allow the second most receptions and receiving yards to running backs on the season. It's a juicy matchup. Bears are using Swift a ton. They're going to lean on him even more so in this game, based on a simple fact. They're playing on a neutral site. They're playing across the pond. They're not going to want to pressure.
Is it a neutral site?
Is it? Is it the Jags field?
It kind of feels like it, right? The Jags know how to go to London. They do it every single year.
Okay. So you're playing a really tough road game. You still want it. Still kind of plays in like, hey, we got to get some easy plays here. We got to get it to our guy Swift, who's averaging 11 yards per reception, 2 catches. Him and Pollard can easily hit their numbers on one reception, on one screenplay for 20 plus. So I really love both of those options the most. I want to kind of lean into those both at minus 113.
Last prop for me, Higgins over 54.5 receiving yards. I know people are probably going to be on Chase again, which completely understand, but I'm all over Higgins, man. And like, this dude's getting the targets.
Yep.
It should just fall in line, right? If he sees the same target share that he has been, 54.5 feels light. Now, if this is a Jamar Chase game, then it might be harder to get to this. Maybe you want to pivot to like an anytime touchdown on Higgins if you want to take him somewhere. But if he keeps getting the same targets he's been getting, 54.5 feels a little light for T. Higgins. And again, Bengals are on a tear right now. I don't think that they're going to stop anytime soon.
We're going to be completely right or completely wrong this week because we're just right here. T. Higgins over 4.5 receptions. We hit it last week for plus money. We're getting the same number again, just with less juice at minus 108. Going back to the well, all the points that Andrew just made, the target share is there. The opportunities are there. They're passing the ball a lot. Both running backs were limited this week. They are going to be both healthy. They're both going to play. But Moss and Brown, both a little beaten up a little bit, both a little bit fatigued, I'd say, and coming in with less prep. You got to like the receivers and their numbers this week, and you're getting the discount and the value with Higgins over Chase for a very similar target share, as Andrew pointed out.
Yep. That is all the props I have. Bruni, you got any more?
Of course, when it happens, you have to run to the window and get Austin Eckler receiving yards. Anything 24.5 or lower, meaning he's going to get at least 25 receiving yards. You smash it. You put as much as you want on it with all the confidence in the world. We're 4-0. If they keep laying the number low, we have to keep challenging the books. We just have to keep bring the battle to them. We just have to do it. If they're giving you 25 plus, like a 27 or even a 30 plus total, that's all right. You either buy it down, you get a little bit less juice with some alt receiving yards, but you still go at the number. That's how we're playing it.
Eric coming in the chat, giving us some IDP props here. Trey Hendrickson, second in the league, pass rush, win rate, and not much production. I think variance gives us a sack or two this week. Don't mind that for everyone who likes to bet defensive props. There you go.
Love that. They are getting, who is it? The Giants?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football.
Love it. Love it. The Giants on Sunday Night Football.
I know, yeah, and then we get Denver and the Saints on Thursday Night Football. Like we got some icky primetime games, and this is why people on Twitter,
sweet Jesus buys.
People on Twitter all over the NFL, like, so you implemented this like we can change and flex schemes whenever we want to, and then you're not going to flex in like the Commanders and the Ravens to Sunday night. Like that's a 1:00 game. Fucking fix it, NFL. Come on.
Reek is in here saying he likes the Jalen Polk over receiving. I think that's kind of the favorite, I think, of the public right now. But I will say that the number is really low. I think it's at 26.5.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to go in and check it right now just to see.
The
Jalen Polk 25.5.
Yeah, so it's not bad. I mean, that could happen all in the fourth quarter when they're down 2 touchdowns. So I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't get cute with it. Like I'm not going to buy him up to like
what about
receiving yards or anything.
What about May in his first start, over 25.5 rushing yards? He's probably going to tuck the ball and run some, as most new quarterbacks
here's
do.
The issue with that. The offensive line is terrible. He's going to go for negative plays. Like he's going to have a few where he doesn't get the throwaway and his knees down in the backfield and they won't care because he won't get himself hurt. Like Kyler Murray's rookie season, he just kind of like fall, not get hurt. It's going to happen. That offensive line is atrocious. They're still putting him out there with some implied risk for sure. The schedule just gets easier now. That's the nice part. But that doesn't mean that Trey Hendrickson can't rip his head off. So not a good situation. All great points for Eric here.
Yep.
My last two, I had Chris Godwin over 63.5 receiving yards. Jaden Reed over 62.5 receiving yards. Both have really good matchups this week. You saw Wicks last week not have what's that?
Mike Ross says Bruni going against Meg's picks on May running.
Didn't catch
Damn
it.
way to stick to the.
It's the going backwards that scares me. It's the going backwards that scares me. I'm sorry. Chris Godwin got a very good matchup this week. Alontae Taylor in the slot. He is more of like a downhill runner, going at the quarterback, looking for sacks, making those, kind of big splash plays. I think Godwin's going to work him this week. Jaden Reed, same situation. Arizona secondary, pretty washed, pretty weak. That's in a game not within a super high implied total, but a game where I would be taking the over. I think there's going to be points in that one. We've seen the Packers get into a couple of shootouts here, so I like both of those picks as well. We can move on to anytime touchdowns. I've got some juicy ones.
Okay, anytime touchdowns. I'll lead us off. You already mentioned his over yardage, but Chris Godwin, anytime touchdown, plus 175. We all know the whole saga with Evans and Lattimore, right? Like, I think a lot of people are going to be on Evans to get a touchdown, which I do think the Bucs are going to try to make that happen. But Godwin gets the lesser of the evils for the Saints secondary. I think Godwin's going to have himself a nice little game here. Give me that anytime touchdown, 175.
Right on. I like that. I love him in that game, and all the reasons that you mentioned about the Lattimore and Evans matchup for his yardage. My first one up, we've seen it a few times in the last few weeks. Ty Johnson plus 210. All the receivers are hurt. James Cook is hurt. Shakir, Cook, Hollins, Samuel, all banged up. Ty Johnson's got 9 touches in the red zone, and 4 of them have come either inside the 10 or the inside the 10 or 20. He's got 2 touchdowns through the last 3 weeks, plus 210. Ray Davis has better odds. He's got like plus 185. That makes no sense whatsoever. They've been using Ty Johnson inside the 5. I think this is some friendly juice. And I believe they're activating some guys off the practice squad as well. So I think they are inclined to be missing James Cook this week potentially.
Also, I saw James Cook maybe getting himself in a little bit of trouble, was out at a Buffalo nightclub, left a tab there without paying it. That's here nor there was like $860. Like obviously he has that. So here nor there, but I don't think that he's going to see any discipline from it. But I did just read that, and I'm like, really, dude? Like now maybe he was hammered and just forgot, right? Like told one of his buddies, like, yo, go drop my card, and they didn't. Who knows scenario? But he did get himself in a little bit of trouble. So
or his buddy ran off with the cash,
or that. Next one up for me. I think everyone's going to be on the Packers wide receivers this week. Yes, Bruni?
Let's ride. Let's fly.
Packers wide receivers probably going to score this week.
Yeah, right. I just mentioned Jaden Reed getting the yardage.
Right. Yeah. I think that everyone's going to be on that. Give me Josh Jacobs, baby. Fade the fucking public. Josh Jacobs. Come on. -120, almost even money.
We were on Wicks last week. Why?
Exactly. And did that happen?
You're really upset. You're really upset about it.
People are going to go all over the Packers wide receivers, which I do think they have a good week, but I think that they're going to make sure that they get Josh Jacobs a touchdown here. -120. Sneak peek, I got a 2+ touchdowns parlay that may or may not include Mr. Jacobs later on after we get done with our regular anytime touchdowns here. But yes, Josh Jacobs.
I think that's the play, because if he's -120, then that's a public pick. That's a public pick if he's -120. What are you talking about?
Mean that's just what they set it at. That doesn't mean that the public's on it. It's not like it's moved.
Every Joe Schmo's going to take it. It's -120.
Jaden Reed also -120. Wicks,
that's not fair. That's
Wicks
not fair.
+175. I mean,
that's not fair. We need better Wicks odds, but that's not fair. That's not our fault. We didn't make the number.
Exactly. I didn't make the Josh Jacobs -120, but I'll take it.
But everyone's going to take it.
Everyone's going to take the Packers receivers. I'm telling you.
I'm not going to take a Packer receiver anytime touchdown because I learned my lesson last week. So I'm not arguing with you. I like the Jacobs 2 touchdowns more, to be honest with you. I'm going back to Austin. I'm going back to Austin Eckler. +230. Only 1 touchdown in the season. The Ravens aren't allowing a lot of rushing touchdowns in the red zone. Only 3 rushing touchdowns allowed to running back so far. I think Eckler is going to catch one in the red zone. I think they're going to get down close. Brian Robinson could be out of this game. If not, he's a game time decision, coming in fatigued, beaten up. I think there's a more implied role for Eckler and potentially McNichols this week. McNichols has been getting red zone touches and touchdowns, but I think he's done enough to draw attention from opposing defenses to lend favor to Austin Eckler this week. +230. I just think there's more work for him. McNichols, like I said, he's gotten them the past few weeks without much production, just been getting the end zone carries. I think they get one for Eckler here in the battle of the Beltway.
Hey, I don't hate that whatsoever. They clearly run the ball when they're at the goal line, and no B-Rob equals more Eckler. So that makes sense to me. And get it now while you can at +230, because I do feel like that probably comes down a little bit. My next one up, and also a +230. Bruni, you may be on this wavelength because this is one of your best ball darlings. Trey McBride, +230. In that game, there's supposed to be a little bit of rain. When there's a little bit of rain, they usually try to keep it a little bit more close to the vest, which is also why I like Josh Jacobs. But Trey McBride, +230. They tried to get him one last week, in and out of his hands. Think they go back to the well, get him one this week, +230 against the Packers.
Treyway. No argument. Yeah. You going to hear an argument over here? No, sir.
I figured not.
No. +230. Juice.
Still pretty good. Yeah.
That's real good. Yeah. For a guy who's going to be like, still the second target on his team. Like James Conner scored a touchdown that game. Give me some James Conner love. Minus money.
Are we putting together a same game parlay here as we speak?
Is that what just happened?
Sounds like it.
Made my Juwan Johnson tingle.
Nice.
+260. Ray McLeod III. You got Bijan beaten up. You got Darnell Mooney fatigued. He's been limited this week. Both of them have, actually. You have, London coming off a pretty big game and a very juicy matchup up against the Panthers, allowing like the most or second most receiving touchdowns to receivers this year. Give me Ray McLeod playing a ton of snaps, already an active role, going to be heightened this week with some potentially beaten up, receiver, running back action. Also like Algier to find the end zone this week. I just don't think in this matchup they need to overuse Bijan in back-to-back weeks where he's coming in limited, dealing with hamstring issues. Same thing for Mooney. He's been playing very well this season. I don't think they have to overuse him, and I think you may get more snaps and targets for Ray McLeod that's had, again, a very active role. I think he has one game with double-digit targets, but again, playing a ton of snaps. You got some other guys beaten up, and it's the third most touchdowns and receiving yards to receivers. If you do first and last, because I kind of like Ray McLeod for 2, a first and last is like +2,800, something like that.
Interesting.
Pretty cray.
Interesting. Next one up for me, Tank Dell, +190. No Nico. feel like it's a Tank Dell week. I don't know why. Just feel it in my belly. Think it's going to be a Tank Dell week. And, I think that if he does score, it's coming on a long touchdown as well. So if you want to bet his over, like, you can get the receivers for like 30 plus reception, 30 plus yard reception. Maybe put that in there with that touchdown. But yeah, Tank Dell plus 190. Again, this goes with my Stroud over 1.5 passing touchdown. So parlay that all together.
Love it, love it. That was my last one. I had the Eckler, Ray, and Ty Johnson. So if you want to go into some doubles, you are.
I got one more regular anytime touchdown, and that is David Montgomery. It's minus 150, but I mean, really pick your poison here between him and Gibbs. The Cowboys are a little banged up on the defensive side. I think it's going to make it easy for Dan Campbell. When he gets near the goal line, he's going to be like, all right, let's flip a coin, see who's getting the touchdown now. I do think they both score, but I'll go with the bigger back. Give me David Montgomery minus 150.
Hey, good picks here, Reek. I like these. Bucky Irving, Chris Olave, Ogunbowale with Mixon coming back. I would probably stay away from, but I love the Olave and the Bucky Irving picks. Irving going to get that full run with Rashad White being out. Chris Olave getting some really good talk from Spencer Rattler that he's just going to go after him. So anytime in the red zone, that's what I'm expecting. Kamara, Olave, maybe you put those together in separate tickets, see what you walk away with. I mean, the Tampa defense has not been anything special, so there is some opportunity in that game for Rattler to, bust onto the scene, if you will. But, not many folks going to be, treading those waters in fantasy. I probably wouldn't recommend it for props either. Go after Olave, wouldn't say to go after Rattler, unless you like unders. Or interceptions, anytime interception props.
I mean, I'm a DJ.
Who doesn't like that?
Right. So, so I do have 2+ touchdowns parlay to give everybody here. First one up. I know the shiny toys are back in Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, but give me Saquon Barkley, baby. Saquon Barkley, 2+ touchdowns is plus 310. So you're paying up for it for sure, but it's alive. It is live. Then put in Josh Jacobs plus 550. And then I originally put in Bijan, and I'm going to give that one out here. Bijan, 2 touchdowns, because, again, the Panthers are awful against running backs. That is 110-1. If you want to pivot off Bijan because he does have this hamstring thing, is it going to affect him? I don't know. So I did a little research and looked into a guy that last year led I think he was actually third in all for tight ends, receptions, and targets in the red zone, and that is Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson to get 2+ touchdowns plus 1,600. So it's for the Barkley, Jacobs, Bijan 110-1. For Barkley, Jacobs, and Ferguson 452-1. Pick your poison, play them both. Doesn't matter to me. I feel like we're going to hit one of these days. This is it.
You know what Derrick Henry's 2+ touchdowns is paying?
Oh, let me guess. So he's minus 300 something for any time. I'm going to guess plus 230.
165.
Oh,
that's just criminal. I will throw Tony Pollard and Najee Harris into the ring. Najee still does not have a touchdown. If there's a game he's going to get to, the Raiders on the road. I know Justin Fields has been knob gobbling them. I like him to find the end zone this week, and also a very good matchup for Tony Pollard again up against the Colts, paying plus 550 and Najee paying plus 750. So I'll throw those two into the ring as well.
Nice. Solid. That is all I have for anytime touchdowns. What do you want to pivot to now?
We can go to spreads.
Okay. I like it.
I'll lead off with the Buccaneers minus 3.5. I still love them in this game. I think their offense is far more in tune than the Saints. And the Saints defense got exposed last week up against a offense that is, typically pretty good, but, on paper, it doesn't look amazing in the Chiefs. Bucks minus 3.5. Love it. Simpatico. Let's ride.
Cosign.
Smash the like button, share the video, follow the FanSpeak Network. If now's not a time, then win. Bucks just a better team right now. Obviously missing their quarterback on the Saints side. Spencer Rattler, we don't know what we're going to get. And with that uncertainty, 3.5 is a friendly number. I could easily see this going up to 5.5 or 6 It's Friday night. Let's get this right now. Love them in this game. If you just want to take the money line, I don't think the number is that bad. It's like minus 186. So if you don't want to get cute and you just want to take the Bucks to win, I think that's an absolute smash. But I am willing to dare the 3.5 for that Baker Mayfield-led offense and how good it's looked against the Saints indoors. I don't care if it's at home for the Saints. It's indoors and they have an inexperienced QB. So that's where my headspace is for that matchup.
Yeah, man, and as you saw, I'm right there with you for everything you said. I just think the Bucks are rolling, and the Saints are hitting a spot where they're banged up. They're starting a new QB. I don't know. I think the Bucks are gonna give it to them pretty hard here.
Bucks coming off a tough loss with an extended bye. Coming off of the Thursday night game. Yeah, so you get a little bit of a longer rest period, more time to amp up, attack film, field, everything, rest. So yeah, definitely like the Bucks in this spot. Give me the minus 3.5 there.
Yeah, and if you guys are enjoying these picks and want to have more of the FanSpeak Network picks, join the Dub Club for props, touchdowns, parlay bets, you name it, we got it. Across the bottom is the website to visit. It is dubclub.win/r/megs08dfs/ join us, contribute, win with us. Let's ride. Bruni, my next one is do you remember the team that I really hate in the NFL?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys, yeah, fuck them. It is the Lions, baby, -3. This is an easy number for me. Cowboys banged up. Cowboys probably going to be able to throw on the Lions, going to give them a game, but 52.5 is a high enough total that laying 3 points doesn't really matter in my eyes. The Lions are going to be able to run all over the Cowboys if they really want to. Obviously, they have a plethora of weapons, and really, it's just let's fade the Cowboys, man. They're the public's team, right? Everyone loves the Cowboys, but yeah, F that noise. Lions -3, mortgage it. You're welcome.
I'd mortgage maybe the money line. I think I just feel like it could be a close game. That's all. I don't love the Lions defense, but on offense, they're the complete package. They have the run game. They have the offensive line. You have Jared Goff coming off a game where he went 18 for 18. Ball didn't touch the ground. So they're a complete package on offense. On defense, they're not. I told you about the dead bodies in the secondary. It's atrocious. That's what the Cowboys do. They pass the ball. They look to push downfield. If it's playing to the implied total, I just want to take the money line here. But I'll agree with you. Yeah, give me the Lions. But if we're talking about mortgage, I'm taking money line for sure.
Yeah, and in my eyes too, this is a coaching mismatch as well. Dan Campbell versus Mike McCarthy. I'm like, come on.
Mike McCarthy is like he's washed. 5 years washed. Like he should have been out of the league half a decade ago.
Yep. So Lions -3. Lock it up.
All right, my next one. Where do you want to go? I have Packers just money line, so I'm staying away from the spread. I like the Texans though, -6.5. They can easily beat the Patriots by a touchdown, and I do think that's a number that can climb as well. Go after them now before the number shifts. The Patriots have been bad. You're also getting the lack of expectation from not knowing what we're going to get from Drake May. The little sprinkles that we've seen of him, not enough for me to lend any confidence that the Patriots can cover 7 points on the road. I believe they're playing in Houston. No, they're playing in New England. Good time to start the kid, but I don't think it's going to be Drake May's ideal homecoming going back to the New England to open up against the Texans here.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Sorry, that felt appropriate right there. My last ATS pick is for the London Jags. Give me them +1.5. I know, Bruni. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry. I know it's against you.
We're gonna have to get up. We're just gonna have to get up because that's my next pick is Bears -1.5.
Oh, jeez.
So here it comes.
Again, for me, it's which team is going to handle the travel better. The Jags have already done this multiple times. You've got the Bears doing it for the first time with a rookie quarterback who is a little interesting of a guy. He's probably going to want to go out and enjoy the London life, right? Like I feel like he's not going to be fully prepared.
It's not France, Andrew. Shows what you know.
I'm just saying. I think that there's a discrepancy here for who is going to travel better and be prepared for the game.
I don't think that he's going out in London. You know why? They asked him who's the most famous person from London. You know who he said?
Did he say Big Ben?
He said Paddington Bear. Paddington Bear. That's who he said. Yeah, of course he's a weird fucking guy, all right? But you know what Caleb Williams doesn't do? He doesn't play defense. He isn't the Bears secondary that is one of the best in the NFL up against the pass right now. No. This is not a good spot for Trevor Lawrence, okay? You know, if they had some flow going, it's about to get backed up. They're going to go backwards to week 1, 2, and 3, the Jaguars. This is not going to be pretty for Trevor and company. I'm talking house calls. Give me an anytime Chicago Bears defensive or special teams touchdown. Lock that in. Special teams, special plays, special Bears. All right. That's what they do. Yeah, Bear claws. So easily taking Bears in the money line, easily taking them -1.5. I think they could win this game by 10, to be honest with you. I would not dare you to buy that spread. But I do believe it, and that's unbiased of being a Bears fan. That is just their defense being one of the best, and the Jaguars, they still got the training wheels on, buddy. Like, we've seen some bright spots. We've seen the offense get a little bit better, but they haven't been tested like this, not since, quote unquote, they've improved a little bit. They barely beat the Colts last week. They barely beat them, and that was against a terrible, terrible defense in the Colts. The difficulty level is coming up to, very hard. All Madden this week, okay? Different story in Jaleo, London. Caleb Williams also said Cillian Murphy was from there. Peaky Blinders, also very wrong. Irish, terrible answer.
Okay, yeah, sure, right? Understandable. I understand where you're coming from. Still think the Jags are going to be better prepared.
You get it. All right. So we got to do something. We got to do something. Is Evan Ingram coming back? That could help.
I don't think so.
That's bad.
Which is mind-boggling because last week they were like, "Oh, he's almost close. He's close to getting there. Is he going to play last week?
There.
Maybe." Like, how are you further away now? They're like, "Oh,
season. It's ridiculous."
Oh,
it's like,
oh God, he's killing me.
Oh, dude.
My best ball exposures are screaming, "Evan Ingram, please, please, for the love of God, get back on the field.
Help me."
Oh, so annoying.
You know who else I like, Andrew, is those gosh darn Commanders plus 6.5.
You said it. I didn't. Listen, Lord, if you're listening, I'm not betting on them, so let them keep winning, please. This is Bruni's pick, not mine.
Stop it. Give me the towel behind you. You don't deserve it.
That's a flag, but nonetheless, there is a towel underneath.
Flag behind you. You don't deserve it.
Listen, man. I'm not going to do it. I haven't done it yet, and they're winning. The Sean Taylor jersey is going to be on.
You have to put something down on.
I'm not messing up the feng shui. Not doing it.
That is not feng shui. First off, you just can't go saying things like that. Plus 260, you have to put something on it.
Can't. I love that you're believing in them, and I believe in them.
They're my first dog. They're my first dog. I watched the Raiders beat the Ravens. This is possible. This is the battle of the Beltway. It's not even a home game for the Ravens.
Yeah. Hey, man. I love it. I love it.
The Commanders play in the state of Maryland.
I can't do it.
It's a home game. You have to do it.
I can't.
QB1, QB2 in this game.
Yeah. And it should be Sunday night, but I can't do it, brother.
It should be Sunday night. You're right, Andrew. It should be Sunday night.
Yeah. Come on, NFL. Flex the damn game already.
City's going to be bumping. I better go get like some groceries now.
I saw. So this is the highest ticket sales, from where it started to where it is now. It has increased the most of any ticket so far in the NFL for a game.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, duh. Look at the QBs. Look at them.
Mike Raub says if they were the Redskins still, they would have won to honor Indigenous People Day. Now they have forsaken it. They will lose as the ghosts of the past will haunt them.
That's not true. Magic Johnson's not going to allow that to happen, Mike.
Hey, I like Indigenous People Day so much. I got a tattoo of the Redskins symbol on my back. So,
He also
There's
frequents, Indian casino reservations. No big
Any
deal.
casino. Doesn't matter.
Mostly the Indian ones.
Anyone I see, I'm like, oh God, I
It's
gotta
like
go.
the McDonald's arches.
Arches, yeah, pretty much.
Arcs.
So my dog, my one and only dog, again,
One
don't
dog.
don't love the dogs.
You are a coward. You
Don't-
never love the dogs.
I don't. And you know what?
I'm not
They've
saying
been
to take
hitting.
the Panthers.
I'm doing it for the people. I don't love the dogs normally, and they hit. I don't want to jinx our fans. I don't want to jinx the people.
Can I guess your one dog?
Do it.
Is it the New York Jets?
It is not.
Hang on. Give me one more guess.
Okay.
Is it the Denver Broncos?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you were all over the Denver Broncos last week. It's a stay away game for me.
30 plus 130 at home against the Chargers, who coming off a bye. I don't love that aspect, but the Broncos defense is legit. It's under, so it's 35.5 points. I mean, the +3 feels good. I like the Denver's defense to hold down the Chargers a little bit. It's going to be an ugly game. I expect the Broncos to win probably 20-17, somewhere in there. Like, I think the +3 probably is, gonna split, but I will take them dogs, man. +130.
You said their defense is what?
Their defense is good.
We're gonna have to. That's gonna be combined in your lowlights at the end of the year when you were talking about how terrible that defense was like 4 weeks ago. That's
not bad anymore. I was wrong. I'll capitulate.
Yeah. No, Andrew's not bad about that, but I was like, whoa, big turnaround, my guy.
Where do you think the Broncos currently rank with their total defensive DVOA?
Top 7.
4.
So that's top 7.
That's good.
That's pretty nice. Good. Where are the Vikings at? Where are the Vikings at DVOA, bro?
Still numero uno.
Mm-hmm. You still wanted to fade them last week.
I did, man. I was wrong. I capitulate. I was wrong. That's on me. I gotta do better. I gotta be better.
I capitulate.
Gotta be better.
I have the Jets as a dog, +118. Again, the Bills. Oh my goodness, beaten up and going to be playing on the road. It's going to have to be the Josh Allen show. Very little props out in that game. Ty Johnson, I gave out the anytime touchdown. It's like one of the few that I'm actually looking at because there's just nothing available. You're getting no reads on what players are going to be in that game because they won't put any names up on the board for props. Everybody's limited except for Keon Coleman, Ray Davis, and Ty Johnson and Josh Allen. Oh, Dalton Kincaid too. He's fine. Maybe you go after his props when the numbers come out and the injury report is finally laid out for us. Because it's looking pretty brutal. And the Jets' defense has been solid enough, and I'm still just not a believer that the Bills' defense is anything amazing. Where are they at in DVOA? I'd be very curious about the Bills' defense.
What do you want, offense or defense?
Defense. Because I've never thought that they were a good defense, but they've had some good games. They've had some
good
performances.
Guess.
16?
6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so high.
They're also 8th in offensive DVOA. They rank in a total when you combine the two. And
that one game.
What?
They had that one game where who did they blow out? The Dolphins?
Oh man, I don't remember who they blew. Yeah. Actually, I think it was the Dolphins. Now that I think about it, they're 6 total for offense and defense.
Been very good. Like they've had a couple of really bad games on offense. That's so weird. DVOA is so weird.
It is. The DVOA is weird, and if people ask you how to estimate it, I have no idea. There's a site for it. You can go to ftnfantasy.com to see it all. But they currently rank 6th in total
geometry. Get out of algebra, okay? All right, get my math credits. Get out of the high school hallways. All right, geometry over algebra. That shit. That's how you learn how to beat the secondary, by the way. Geometry, and also play pool.
Mm-hmm.
A.J. Brown, anytime touchdown from Johnny in the chat here.
Nice.
I don't know. I like it. I think it.
Yeah, that's why I took Barkley. Again, I think people are going to be on the Devontae Smith and AJ Brown one, so I'm going to pivot there and go back to Barkley.
Their reception totals are also very high, both at 5.5. It's tough.
Do you think so? Jake and I have one survivor pick left. We took the Packers last week, which was a lot closer than it really needed to be. We're considering what?
Still covered the 3.5. No big deal.
Yeah. So we're in a survivor. So we got to take one team this week. I'm going to give you the 3 we're considering right now. Bucks against the Saints, Eagles versus the Browns, or Texans versus the Patriots. Who would you take?
I would take Texans or the Bengals. That's who I would take.
You would take the Bengals, huh?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I don't like that. We also considered the Falcons against the Panthers, but I hate taking divisional games.
That's why I wouldn't take the Tampa and Saints game.
Yeah, the Tampa. I know that's the same thing for Tampa, but with
I didn't like
Rattler
the first
coming in now.
with you. I didn't like the first 2 picks at all.
You don't like the Eagles one either?
They just haven't been very good. They're not consistent at all. Sirianni's just like falling from the sky. What do you? I mean,
yeah, but if you look at their
survivor,
if you look at their
the matchup is way in their favor. I understand all of that. They're just really bad right now. And when you're telling me it's survivor, just
look, our other resident, one of our other resident Commanders fans is saying take the Eagles too. He just says Browns are a disaster. Yeah, I don't.
Do you lose the pick?
What?
Do you lose the pick? Like after you use the Eagles, you cannot use them again?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just to win. It's not against the spread or any of that. It's just to win.
I guess it's a pretty light matchup when I look at their schedule. I guess they play the Giants next week. I'd probably just go after the Giants 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, well, people took the Seahawks last week, and we see how that went for them.
Yeah, it's true.
Also, people who play the Lions lose the next week. Now, Lions were on a bye, so what do you do? Fade everyone who was on a bye then? But I don't know. But that still has not that's undefeated currently. John says Texans a lock. That's who we originally wanted to take, but I don't know, man. So I think they win that game. It is slightly scary to me because I think everyone's going to be on them. So, what's the worst that can happen, right? But yeah, that was one that I really liked. If Nico was playing, that would be the lock for sure. Without Nico, it scares me just slightly.
You also had the Mike Evans anytime touchdown. We brought up Chris Godwin finding paydirt, so really can't argue against that as well. Could be one of the last few matchups we've seen of Mike Evans and Lattimore, so we know both sides are going to want to make it special. Hey,
yes, sir.
Tell them to throw you the ball in this play. Tell them to do it.
Mike Rob says, got to save the Texans for later in the year. Yeah, that's the hope. And we are down to, so this originally started with 5,500 some odd people, 5,566 actually. We are down to 106 people already. And it's for $55,600 if we win. So we really got to make a good pick here.
John also saying the Drake May interception prop. Yeah, I'm all in on that, but I bet there's not a lot of juice on it because it makes just way too much sense. So, but maybe, put it into an interception card or another card. Let's see. Who else do I like as far as a dog? I mean, Commandos, I just thought you were going to get up for that, but
can't do it, man. I'm not messing them up.
Can't do it, man.
Can't do it.
Yeah, the Jets. Keep winning. And that's it for the dogs.
Yeah, I don't love any of the other dogs really, so Yeah.
All right, awesome.
That's it for me, big dog.
Yeah, that was
anything else?
That was a
also,
quick one.
If anybody wants, I will. If you follow me on Twitter, I'll probably be putting out another anti-correlation parlay for the Sunday games. Almost hit it last night. Damn it, the refs fucked me. The whole DK Metcalf scoring that touchdown, the long touchdown, would have got it. They called it back for the illegal shift. I rode that high for like a couple seconds. I'm like, oh my God, it hit. Oh my God. And then flag. And I'm like, oh no. And then just slowly my energy level went from here way down here. I sunk into the couch like the old marijuana commercial where the girl smokes pot and she like deflates into the couch. That was me. I deflated into the couch.
Person anymore, Andrew. You're just not that fun to hang out with anymore, Andrew.
That's the exact commercial. You're right. Yeah. I was just like, Jake texted me because I sent him my picks and stuff before the game. And he's like, how sad are you right now? Like, couldn't even text him back. I was just like, flabbergasted that I just watched it hit and then they took it away from me. Refs. Damn it.
It's the worst.
One of these days, we're getting one. $4 to win 1,300. Oh, God, it ruins me.
Let's build a card from the chat here.
Jamin would be a good anti-correlated parlay. Yes, he might be a part of that.
I'm going to the top of the board here. Let's take some picks from the chat, blended with maybe some of our top picks, and let's see what we can come out with.
Okay, I got my FanDuel app up, so tell me what you got, and I'll put it in.
Well, I'm going to ask you, we're going to go through these options together. So likely touchdown, do you want to go after that? Low target share last week, but had the 2.
I was kind of on with you. Like I kind of like the Mark Andrews pivot. So no.
Okay, so I took, let's see, Reek said Isaiah Likely, but I took Andrew for his yards. I mean, we can check out Eric's Trey Hendrickson.
Oh, yeah, let's oh wait, does FanDuel offer those?
I don't know if they do.
Let's see. If not, I can go to DK if we want. Yeah, I don't see defensive props on here.
All right, what do we think about Olave or Irving to find the end zone? I like the Irving pick.
I do not mind the Irving pick. Let me.
I say we go after the Irving pick there. That's our first one from Reed.
He is plus 105. Okay.
Yep, I like that. Sounds like you agree.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, which great for best ball for me if Rachaad White just fucks off, because really I drafted a lot more Bucky Irving than I did Rachaad White.
What do you think about the AJ Brown TD? We got John with that one.
I mean, I'm on Saquon, but I mean, if I had to pick between him and Devontae, I would take AJ Brown. I mean, he's hungry. He's coming back now. So yeah, I don't mind it. I obviously, still on the Barkley, but I don't mind AJ Brown plus 165.
It's that, or we could see about the May interception. I think those are on FanDuel.
Let's see. May, passing props. Yeah, Drake May interception. Yes. Minus 146.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
And then I was trying to think of your props, what I like the most from your props. Maybe we just do the Dak 2 passing touchdowns with Tolbert.
Dak and Tolbert. Okay, so let's see.
I don't want to do like Tolbert and Ferguson together. Or we could just do Ferguson's numbers with either Swift or Pollard. Or you could do the Ray touchdown.
Yeah. Also,
Ray touchdown. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I know you got real excited about that. PSA for everybody gambling: when you go in and you're betting these like alt passing touchdowns, if you want to do 2, look at the price for that versus the regular price for their player passing touchdowns. Just for instance, here, Dak over 1.5 is minus 164. If you go to the alt passing touchdowns and go to 2+, it's minus 178. Be mindful of that. You can just get a better number at over 1.5 as opposed to 2+. So PSA for everybody.
What are those odds coming to?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I need to put in the Tolbert. You said Tolbert over, so 46.5.
46.5 and the over 3.5 receptions.
Oh, over, let's see, player total receptions over 3.5. So if we do Dak Prescott over 1.5 passing touchdowns, Tolbert over 46 receiving and over 3.5 receptions, with Bucky Irving anytime touchdown, AJ Brown anytime touchdown, and Drake May interception, 26-1.
You want to put 10 on it and I'll send you 5?
Sure, I can do that. 10 will win us 260-16.
We'll do something fun for the chat if that hits.
Oh, yes. That will be nice. So anybody in the chat here, so let me write down some of these people here. Who do we got? Well, it's going to kind of be hard. Like, who is John? John, who are you? How do we know
John, you can share your Twitter handle or an email.
Yes, please do. Please, if you want to put that in the chat here, social something, let us know.
I think we got
Meg said send her the slip and I'll include in Dub Club tomorrow. Okay, I like that as well.
Yep.
So what do we got? We got Mike Raub. Got John.
Johnny boy.
We got who's up here? Reek. Let us know how we would find you if you happen to win a piece of these shekels that we may be winning here. Obviously, Degen Eric.
He brought the sacks in. We tried.
He did. Oh, and then, of course, the leadoff guy, Tyler, huh? All right. So we just need to find out who John is and how we can find you. John, let us know, buddy.
He's gone. He disappeared.
He gone. So yes, I will put that in right now for us. $10 wins 260-16, and it is placed. Let's ride. I'm gonna send that to Meg. Share bet.
How are you gonna feel when BTJ gets shut down from Jalen Johnson this week?
I don't think that's happening.
That's gonna happen.
BTJ way too good of a player
for Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, Jalen Johnson.
You had that type of gumption for the Manders.
I'm just kidding. I just knew that would chap your ass right there.
Ooh, this guy.
Ooh, he said.
This guy.
Now, if you would have said Brisker, you would have heard nothing from me. I love Brisker. Shout out Penn State.
Yeah, look out for him too. All right, very good.
Okay, got that in there. All right, love it. See who's winning money with us. Meg said was just going to ask, do we include or fade BTJ in London SGP? Well, hey, we know Bruni ain't on it. Meg, I'm on it with you. Let's ride.
It says include or fade. Or fade.
Oh,
include. You can take the unders. You can take the unders. It's okay. All right, we're going to head out for the night. Appreciate everybody riding with us. Take care. Be well. Be good. If you can't be good at it. We'll see you.